The Fishing Paper Show is proudly brought to you by United Fisheries, bringing fresh fish to your plate.
Trout may not be everybody's cup of tea, but here's a magic recipe that's sure to be a winner. Crimpy's whole trout bake. It's simple, it's a doddle to remember, and it's very tasty. Take one whole trout with the head removed and place it in an oven bag. This is a very easy recipe to remember because it's essentially a tablespoon of everything thrown into the oven bag. So we've got soy sauce, sweet chili sauce, a tablespoon of mustard, any mustard will do, and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And to give it some zing, the juice of a lemon. Don't throw away those lemon pieces because we're going to use the rind for extra flavouring. Remove the flesh and slice that lemon skin into very thin slivers and pop those into the oven bag with the rest of the ingredients. Alright, almost there. Final ingredients, we want to grate some fresh ginger. And again, go for roughly a tablespoon, it doesn't really matter. Some crushed garlic. Again, similar quantities that we use with the ginger. To some people, trout can be bland, but the combination of garlic and the fresh ginger really enhances the flavour. And the final ingredient, fresh rosemary. It's really that easy. Now comes the fun part, and that's to bag it up and bake it. Just to make sure those flavours really infuse, give it a good shake, and then it's into a tray. And I've preheated the oven to 200 degrees and I'm going to bake this little beauty for around 20 minutes. Comes to serving. Oh, look at that. There you have it. Crimpy's whole trout bake. Sensational.
Gee, Crimpy, didn't you put a whole fish in?
Actually, I think I did. Perhaps I had the oven too hot. Maybe it shrunk.
That's a bit weird.
Bit weird,
That's
yeah.
Weird. Yeah, that's a bit weird.
Very weird. Sometimes you just can't get good help in the kitchen. However, it's a good recipe. Trust me, it was very, very tasty. Now, Simon, doing it better with Hamels. This is the time of the year where people tend to go away, isn't it?
Yes, we get plenty of customers this time of year travelling all around the country, particularly in the South Island and from Christchurch here heading towards the Marlborough Sounds or south down into central South Island, Tekapo, Wanaka sorts of areas.
So that pretty much covers like freshwater and seawater. So what sort of strategies or tips have you got for people maximising the holiday opportunities this summer?
You know, the obvious one is knowledge before you go, so coming and seeing that the guys can give you a good knowledge base, but then a little bit of local knowledge is very, very useful as well.
So people travelling up to the Marlborough Sounds over the summer period, bearing in mind that the blue cod closure is still in place, what sort of fishing are they likely to be targeting up there?
Well, in the I guess in more inshore areas, particularly Canterbury Sound, is an area I like to go and visit, and snapper is the key in there. And of course in the outer sounds you're going to get those as well. If you get out into the deeper water, you're going to encounter groper, and also kingfish in both Pelorus and Queen Charlotte Sounds.
I don't know whether you hear it in the shop, but some people go away over summer and they get frustrated that the fish are actually hard to catch. Do you hear that story?
Yes, we do, and again, it's probably a lot to do with the activity of the anglers, or even not even anglers so much, just the boat activity, water skiers, sort of day tripper type activity. So it really does take away from that middle of the day fishing, I guess. Yeah. And if you want to be successful morning and evening around those change of light period is generally when you're more successful.
I know too, the snapper tend to spawn over the Christmas period, and when they're spawning they can be very hard to catch, so very tight windows of feed time, so right on change of light morning, change of light in the evenings of time. What about the people that are heading down to the lakes? A lot of lake fishing to be had over the summer.
And indeed, Daryl, and there's plenty of opportunity with the lakes. We've got lots of access, and it's a great family activity to do whilst you're away. So you've got most of the lakes to the south. You've got all options: fly fishing, spin fishing, trolling, bait fishing is available. So there's plenty of opportunity and plenty of scope to catch some fish whilst you're away.
Well, I haven't done a lot of lake fishing. I'm getting into it now, and it's actually quite a pleasant way to catch trout. Mm-hmm. Again, I suppose the time of the day over that summer period is going to have some impact.
Indeed, yeah. Again, your most successful periods are going to be morning and evening, and those bright sunny days. In the middle of the day, you're probably better off having a snooze.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I guess, you don't want to party too hard if you want to get into the trout. All right, we're coming up to having a look at the pick of the week this week, and just to check out this. And here we have Tim Blacktop of Greymouth with a lovely 5 kg salmon caught off Westport when they were actually chasing blue cod. Not a bad looking fish, and I'm sure he'd be very happy with that. A few salmon have been caught in the sea recently, so I just wonder whether that's a sort of a sign that we're in for a good season. What have you guys heard?
It's it's early enough now, but signs are looking promising.
Conditions, some big fish being caught too.
There's been some nice big fish. Those early runs have been some good size.
All right, Peter, for you guys, you're going to be out in force over the summer, checking that people are doing things wrong. What words of wisdom have you got to pass on to the holiday makers?
Make sure you know the rules before you go out. If you're going into a different location, you might need to get the brochure for that particular area, or contact a local Ministry of Fisheries office. And don't go crazy. You don't have to take your limit. It's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be hard work. So, ease back a wee bit and enjoy your fishing over the summer.
All right, there you have it. Enjoy your fishing indeed. This is the last in this current series of the Fishing Paper Show. We want you to have a very safe and happy time on the water. And we look forward to having you back here again at the Fishing Paper Show next season. So take care. The Fishing Paper Show is proudly brought to you by United Fisheries Limited of Christchurch.